here today with Professor Tobais Pinckney. We're here at the Medgar Evers Summer Faculty Institute, and he just got out of a soft chalk professional development today, and he's going to tell us a little bit about it. What were your first impressions, Tobais?
Oh, I had a great time today. Dr. Evans, he gave me the next piece of the puzzle. For me, there are two pieces. Echo 360 gives me interactive learning, and soft chalk today gave me sort of the foundations for laying the groundwork for basic lessons.
When you say foundations for basic lessons, explain to our audience what you mean.
Yeah, what I mean is this. One of my students, his name is Diego, he spoke up in class a couple of weeks ago in the springtime, and he basically told me that he wished that some of the material on Blackboard was a little bit more accessible to us. And I think what that means is that the material's there, but students have to click on several places. They have to go into several folders. And what soft chalk does is enable you to put together a lot of different activities in one group of lessons. Wow. So that students can see what they need to do to really develop a mastery of the material that we have. So it does two things for me. It sets up the material in terms of giving them the basic material. But then when I looked at what I could do with soft chalk today, it's making me go back to my syllabus and enabling me to create some higher order problems for students to write bigger and better essays throughout the semester.
Wow, sounds great. Now, you said it's the second piece. Explain what you mean when you mentioned Echo 360, who was here with us last week. How does Echo 360 help you complete the puzzle?
Yeah, Echo 360 to me is about interactive learning. It's about, the hypothetical with Echo 360 is you're working with a PowerPoint presentation, and what you're doing is you're creating different activities that will enhance the active learning. And so students can participate with polls, multiple choice questions. They can ask their own questions during class. And so what we're doing is we're creating an active learning environment so that students are participating, and that we're also hearing each other's voices. Because when we hear each other's voices, we hear many different things that we didn't expect. And so that changes my classroom every week. And if we can somehow record that, capture that, and then grow continually with that sort of information, we're in a brand new world.
So it's safe to say that soft chalk, Echo 360, Quality Matters, all of the participants that have come for our professional development this summer have already had a profound influence on the way that you provide instruction, even face-to-face.
Yes. To be honest, I didn't know that I needed all three pieces of this puzzle. I thought all of them were wonderful in their own respects, and I just jumped in, thinking that I'd learned something good about them, but they all really fit together perfectly, and they give me each of the aspects of the teaching environment that I need.
That's great. Is there anything else that you think that, let's talk about soft chalk in particular, is going to not just enhance your learning environment, your classroom? How do you think it's going to change how we interact as faculty, staff, with our student body here?
I think is going to expect more of our student body. So, for example, in one of the lectures that I'll be setting up a video, and in the past I've asked students to watch the video. We'll have some, maybe ask a few questions about it. And what I do is I actually I've watched this video numbers of times. I take my own notes, I write my own questions about the video, but some of my comments I don't expect my students to really get or appreciate. But I think what soft chalk is going to do is allow me to use those notes, put them up on soft chalk, have that conversation with myself first. Then students can see my conversation, and then they can interact with the conversation in terms of appreciating what's going on in my head. I think what happens in the classroom is that we make assumptions about each other.
Yes.
And I think what soft chalk does is soft chalk creates another environment where we can break down those assumptions. They definitely fall down in the classroom, but when you can do it 2 and 3 times, soft chalk first and then the classroom, I think you break down a lot more walls.
So basically, in a way, you're flipping the classroom because you're kind of giving the students a heads up before they step into the class, if it's a face-to-face, or before they even begin the lesson. So you're kind of giving them a heads up, and you think that will be applied to our whole student body, which is great. Is there anything else? Because we've talked to you last week about your impressions of technology and education, so I'm not going to bore you with those questions, but what else can you say about, especially today's Summer Faculty Institute at Medgar Evers College? What do you want to add? Just anything.
I think the other thing to add, is that this program and the whole sets of programs enables me as a professor to also think as a professional. when I was in college, there were certain things that I had to do in order to get into law school, in order to develop the skills to excel in law school and then become a lawyer. And I think that we can put those skills also to work within the educational environment. I think we see them as two separate worlds. And so Soft Chalk and Echo 360 are also worlds to not just be teachers, but also be professionals. And I think it's going to be the same thing for students. Students are not just going to see themselves as students at Medgar Evers College. They're going to see themselves as budding professionals, but also the professionals that they already are. Our student population is a little bit older, but our students are a lot more accomplished than many other college students. And so they bring experiences, they bring professional roles that I think they can display at large in these platforms as well.
Wow, sounds great. So you think that basically that all of these learning management systems and other systems that we're adopting are going to enhance our community body and school body going forward?
Yes, no, I definitely think so. I have no reservations about it. I mean, I think if I were to give you an honest reservation, I mean, one of my thoughts before this interview was that we still have to remember the basics. So, we have to remember the textbook. We have to remember basic reading skills. We're trying to bring those to the fore. Technology is not leaving them behind. They're working with them.
So let me ask you, what do you think, what else would you like to see here at a Summer Faculty Institute maybe next year, or possibly if we do a Winter Faculty Institute? What other types of learning skills or teaching skills would you like to see here, offered here, through emerging technologies?
Well, I think the first thing that we need is just a little bit more time. So yeah, I wish I had known this in June or July. Then I think we could go out and create these things, come back and experiment with them. But I mean, aside from time, I think this is just really great work in terms of technology and bringing it all together. And to be honest, the skills that I'm getting, I didn't look forward to at the beginning of the summer. So I mean, Soft Chalk, I mean, I knew what it was, but I didn't expect that Soft Chalk would revolutionize the classroom the way it really has. So I think what next summer or the following summers will look like is capitalizing on what we've done and put it all together. I will say this, I took an online class at Yale Law School this summer, and it was fun for me because I got to be a quote 1L student and relearn the basics of the law. And so I think the one component that the Yale Law School program has that we don't quite have yet is an excellent video component. So if I needed to be trained again in terms of technology, I think I would retrain myself in how to create classroom videos. And so yeah, I think that's where I'd be starting.
Great. So flip the classroom for the faculty this next time. So give them some time in advance to have something to actually look at. And we need to focus on bringing you guys some video components and training and skills. We'll take that into consideration, Professor Pinckney. Yeah, Thank you so much. There's more.
Yeah, there's more. Seriously, 2 more suggestions. One, I think we have to have an active faculty film room. Meaning that I think there really needs to be a place where faculty can come every day and film things both for the classroom, but also for professional advancement, meaning that faculty have ideas about current events. I'm teaching law. I mean, we have ideas about politics. We have ideas about
I would love to hear your opinions on the elections today.
Oh.
Not necessarily on camera right now, but I would just love to hear that. Go ahead. Second suggestion.
I mean, my second suggestion is that along those lines, I mean, this really should be a place where faculty are making news, and students as well. Students have ideas that can make news, and to the extent that we can use media and technology to get them out, this is the place to do it.
And thank you again for all the interviews. I think this is your 3rd interview with us. Thank you, and we will definitely have you back because we're going to do Nova's Political Corner. But thank you again.
Thank you.
All right.